Dear students, in the present class, we will discuss on the probability that a system will be in a state J with energy Ej in a canonical ensemble. That is, we will find out the probability that a system may have in a state J with energy Ej in a canonical ensemble. Now to start with, let me consider an ensemble with huge collection of systems. An ensemble with huge collection of systems in thermal contact with thermal heat reservoir or heat bath, what we may say, at temperature T. Now, there are a huge collection of systems. These are the systems. And these are in contact with thermal contact with a thermal reservoir or heat bath at temperature T. Now, each system, all these systems, each systems has the same value of nVT, but likely to be in different quantum steps consistent with the values of n and v. So each system has the same value of nVT, but likely to be in different quantum states consistent with the values of n and v. Now if Aj is the number of systems in the state J with energy Ej, and capital A be the total number of systems in the ensemble, then how to find out the probability that a system in the state J with energy Ej in a canonical ensemble. Now what we want to know? Actually, we want to know the probability that a system will be in the state J with energy Ej. Now let us focus on two particular states, 1 and 2. Let us focus on two particular states, 1 and 2, with energy E1NV and E2NV. If E1 and E2 be the number of systems in the ensemble in state 1 and 2 with energies E1 and E2 respectively, then the relative number of these systems in the ensemble must depend upon E1 and E2. So, if A1 and A2 be the number of the systems in the ensemble in state 1 and 2 respectively, which have energy 1 and 2 respectively, which have energy E1 and E2 respectively. That is, system A has energy E1, system A2 has energy E2. And these are in the states 1 and 2 in the ensemble. Then, the relative number of the systems in the ensemble must depend upon E1 and E2. So, their relative numbers must depend on E1 and E2. Hence, we may write E2 by E1, the relative number, is a function of E1 and E2. That is the equation number 1. Now, the functional form of f is to determine. So, we have to determine the functional form of f. In which form this function exists. Now, since energy is a quantity that must always be referred to a zero of energy, the dependence on E1, E2 and E2 in equation 1 must be of the form f E1, E2 equals to function of E1 minus E2. Now, why? Why this is so? Because every energy is associated with zero energy as a reference. Both E1 and E2 are associated with zero energies. Now, any arbitrary zero of energy associated with E1, E2 will be cancelled. So if we take the difference, then the zero energy will be cancelled. So let this be equation number 2. Thus, we can write A2 by A1 is a function of E1 by E1 minus E2. This is equation number 3. Now this expression holds good for any two energy states. This holds good for any two energy states. So we can also write A3 by A2, this is a function of E2 minus E3. A3 by A1, this will be a function of E1 minus A3, so on and so forth. So this is equation number 4. But at the same time, we can write A3 by A1. This is equals to AO2 by A1 into A3 by A2. Hence, using equation 3 and 4, this is equation 3 and this is equation 4. So using equation 3 and 4, we find that the function f must satisfy f E1 minus E3 equals to f E1 minus E2 into f E2 minus E3. Let this be equation number 5. This is equation number 5. So using equation 3 and 4, we got the equation number 5. Now we have to find out the form of function f which satisfies the equation 5. So we have to find out the form of function f which will satisfy the equation 5. Now, we can remember that e to the power x exponential, that is exponential, e to the power x plus y, e to the power x into e to the power y. Then it can be seen that the function fe equals to e to the power beta into e, where beta is an arbitrary constant. Where beta is an arbitrary constant. This is an arbitrary constant. This is an arbitrary constant. Okay? Now, to verify that this form for f indeed satisfy equation 5, we substitute the functional form of fe in the equation 5. So, we have to put this value, substitute this value in equation 5. So it becomes e to the power beta E1 minus E3, this is e to the power beta E1 minus E2 into e to the power beta E2 minus E3. This is equal to e to the power beta E1 minus E3. Thus from equation 3 we get, hence from equation 3 we get A2 by A1, this is equal to e to the power beta into E1 minus E2. Let this equation number 6. We can write equation more generally, in more general form. In more general form, this is equals to this is equals to this is equals to AN by AM. AN by AM e to the power beta EM minus EL. Now AM is some constant into e to the power minus beta n, and AM is some constant into e to the power minus beta EM. The form of this equation 7 implied that both AM and AN are given by AJ equals to C into e to the power minus beta AJ. That is AJ equals to C into e to the power minus beta AJ. This is equation number 8, where J represents either state M or N and C is a constant. So in general form we can write like this. Now this equation 5, which we have already discussed, this equation 5, f E1 minus E3 equals to f E1 minus E2, f E2 minus E3. This equation number 5 is equivalent to how this function came in. We can how this function Fe equals to beta e to the power beta, that is Fe. Fe is e to the power beta into E. This equation, how this equation can be used. So we can express in a different form. Now equation 5 is equivalent to fx plus y equals to fx into fy. You just see equation 5. This equation 5 can f e1 minus e3 equals to f e1 minus e2 into f e2 minus e3. So we can write this equals to fx plus y equals to fx into fy. Here we will put that fx is proportional to e to the power ax. Fx is proportional to e to the power ex. Now if we take logarithm on both sides, then ln fx plus y plus equals to ln fx plus ln fy. Now differentiating both sides with respect to x, keeping y fixed, we get del ln fx plus y del x at constant y. This equals to d ln fx plus y dx plus y del x plus y del x y. Now this del x plus y del x at constant y equals to 1. So this becomes equals to d ln fx plus y dx plus y equals to d ln fx dx. Now differentiating this equation, this equation again with respect to y keeping x fixed, we can show that d ln fx dx d ln fy dy. Now the left hand side of this equation is a function of x only, and the right hand side is a function of y only. Now for the relation to be valid for all x and y, each side must equal a constant. Let the constant be e. So we can write d ln fx dx equals to d ln fy dy equals to a. Now integrating on integration and doing other mathematical manipulations, we can say that ln fx equals to ax plus constant. Therefore fx equals to e to the power ax plus constant, or fx is proportional to e to the power ax. Similarly fy is proportional to e to the power ay. Now this becomes equation number 8. This is equation number. Now from the equation 8. From this equation 8. This equation 8 consists two quantities. That is, this equation 8 consists two quantities. That is aj. This is equals to c into e to the power c into e to the power minus beta aj minus beta ej, c into the power minus beta aj has two quantities. One is c and another is beta. Now we will determine the c. If we sum both sides of this equation, over j, we get summation of ajj. C is constant, is taken out of this summation, e to the power, this is equals to j, this is j, e to the power minus beta aj. Now summation of j equals to a, the total number of systems in the ensemble. This capital A is the total number of the ensemble. Therefore, you can write C equals to summation of j aj by summation of j to the power minus beta aj. Now, since this is equals to this summation of aj equals to a, so this is equals to C equals to a by summation of j e to the power minus beta aj. Then from the above equation, we can get aj equals to, the value of c is like this, aj equals to a e to the power minus b ej by sigma j e to the power minus Bej. So Aj by A, this is equals to e to the power minus beta Ej by sigma j e to the power minus beta Aj. This is number equation 9. Now this ratio Aj by A gives the fraction of the systems in the ensemble that will be in the state J. This is the fraction of the systems in the ensemble in the state J with energy Ej. Hence, Aj by A, this Aj by A is the probability, and the equation 9 can be written as Pj, this is the probability, Pj, this is equals to e to the power minus beta Ej by sigma j e to the power minus beta Ej. This is equation number 10. So here Pj is the probability that a randomly chosen system will be in the state J with energy Ej with a function of n and b. Now the denominator in the equation 10, this denominator in the equation 10 is denoted by capital Q. This is denoted by capital Q. Now if we include dependence of Ej on n and b, then we may write Q n b beta, this is equal to j sigma j summation of j e to the power minus beta Ej n b. Hence equation 10 is represented as Pj n b beta e to the power minus beta Ej n b by Q n b beta. Okay? So this is the probability. This is the probability. Now since beta equals to 1 upon k, where k is the Boltzmann constant, so we can write Pj nbt because beta is a function of t. So Pj nbt equals to e to the power minus beta Ej nb by Q nbt. Again, this since beta is a function of t, so we can write Q nbt. Now beta equals to 1 upon kt rather. The quantity Q nb beta or Q nbt is called the partition function of the system. So this is the partition function of the system. So this is the probability of finding the system in the state J with energy Ej, and this equals to e to the power minus beta Ej divided by the partition function of the system. Okay, so this is in my next class I will find out the ensemble average of energy. Thank you.